This podcast is sponsored by Financial Fashion Company, and I want you guys to check out our website and our store. You can visit www.fnfstore.com so you can see all of the apparel that we have, because we want to spread the world with positivity. We want to spread positivity, and we want to spread encouragement and motivate people to be the best version of themselves. So take a look, and if you see something you like, use discount code FNF10 to get 10% off your first order. Back to the show. You are now tuned in to We Invest Different Podcast, where we have high-level conversations. I'm Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm Victor Thomas II.
Let's tap in. Yo, what's going on, podcast family? It's the CEO, Mr. John Best, and I'm coming to talk to you about Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free, and it has creation tools so you can record your podcast from your phone and your computer. Also, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Music, and many more platforms. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Now, if you're interested, download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Now back to the show. Tap in. We back for another episode. I believe this is conversation 8. I'm Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm Victor Thomas II.
And it's good to be back. We Invest Different Podcast. We was just going over what we was contemplating on the show being about. I have no idea. But I kind of feel like we're going to have a good show. Because we always do. Vic always brings something out the bag for us. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he got to say. So, how you feeling today, Vic?
I want to go back to sleep, man. That's what I'm at right now. I slept real good. I think I slept too good last night. And now I just want to go back to sleep, man. But I'm grateful. What you finna say?
No, I was finna ask you, like, why you think you slept so good? Like, you telling me, like, you ain't slept that good in so long.
Man, I couldn't even tell you what was different about last night, but it was much needed. Like, I slept through the night. I usually don't do that. I typically wake up at some point. But last night I slept straight through, so I'm grateful. But I'm just ready to lay back down, though.
Man, I know that rain sounded real good for me last night.
Damn,
I'm definitely, I'm in one in the number with you.
That's right.
So, man, I'm doing pretty well, though. I bruised my rib, man. I was playing basketball, I believe, like a week ago. And I kind of overlooked the injury, thinking that, like, it wasn't going to be that serious until I Googled how long it take for bruised ribs to heal, and I saw 4 to 6 weeks. I'm like, maybe this is a more serious injury than I thought, because after it happened, I'm used to just having a good night's sleep and being healed when I wake up in the morning. That's usually what happens, a full night's sleep. You know, if I was sore, if I done hurt something a little bit, I usually just take a good night's sleep and I'll be straight. But then I woke up and nothing changed, and it actually started getting worse. So then I started paying attention, which made me Google, bruised ribs. But other than that, man, I'm cool. I ain't get a chance to run much. I haven't been getting a chance to run much, and I'm kind of addicted to running at this point. So I'd be like, dang, man, I want to run. I want to work out so bad. But like you were saying, you know what I'm saying? You want to look out. I need to look out for myself and make sure I don't further injure myself.
That's right. It got to be something else you can do, though, like exercise-wise, something.
I mean, I do wall push-ups.
Okay.
Because I know, like, if I do the regular push-up, I'm probably going to have to use some of my core. But since I'm already standing up, if I just do the push-up on the wall, I won't have to use as much as my core. I have to use as much of my core as I would doing a regular push-up. But
makes sense.
Man, did you see that slap, bro? Yeah, you already
Epic.
know what I'm talking about.
Epic. It's an epic slap. The slap of the year.
Bro, I could not believe this man slapped. Bro, I ain't gonna cap, though. A lot of people was talking about the joke, and me and my girl was talking about the joke. And she didn't really understand that like what was so bad about the joke. But I was telling her, like, that Jada had alopecia.
Right.
And people didn't realize that, I don't think.
Nah.
And then, too, honestly, bro, when I seen the picture, when I seen the cover of what it's called? What's the movie called? G.I. Jane?
Mm-hmm.
When I seen the cover, bro, I died laughing, bro. I died laughing, bro, because it's like hilarious.
You got on.
That shit is hilarious. And I ain't gonna lie, the fact that she got alopecia made it funnier. Like,
wow.
I know.
That's honest.
It's honest, bro. I'm sorry, bro. But I really felt like Chris Rock wrote that joke because of that. I really thought that it was a very good joke. Yeah. So I ain't expect the Academy to come out and say that they wrote the joke. Because I'm like, she got alopecia, bro. Chris Rock had to write that joke, bro.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That shit's hilarious. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised.
But people, excuse me if I spit on you, but if people, I don't think people understood the joke at first. Because if you look at the clip, people didn't start laughing until later. Like, people didn't start laughing until damn near Will, like, was about to get up. Because at first, okay, Will was laughing at first. But the crowd didn't really understand the joke. But then it hit. And people started laughing a little bit. I wouldn't say everybody started laughing loud, but you can just tell, like, okay, at first we didn't get it. Okay, then we got it a little bit. Then when they started laughing, that's when Will came on the stage and was like, you know what I'm saying? Pop.
I think he went up there because his wife felt embarrassed. I saw one clip that was kind of giving a walkthrough of the video, and it was saying that Jada, you know, post Will laughing, she kind of gave him a look, I heard, that the camera didn't too much capture, we didn't see.
Yeah.
And I can imagine that being a motivation for Will going up there, you know what I mean? Because he was laughing at first too. But then I think after he saw it kind of impacted Jada, he was like, oh, it's go time. And I can't fault that man for that. You know what I mean? Because that's one thing I've been learning with my lady. Like, you know, stuff that I find funny, she may not find funny. And I got to be sensitive to that. So in that regard, I got to salute Will for that. You know what I mean? He probably could have went about it a different way. But
that was a tough one. That was a tough situation, bro. And we also got to understand that, like, bro been going through a lot lately in his personal life. So
for sure.
And so when somebody take a jab at you, especially on a big night of your life, you know what I'm saying? And it's not even about you. He didn't make a joke on Will Smith, but you might as well have. It's his wife.
That's his wife.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It was probably just bad timing for that joke. I really don't think they should have said nothing about that. They could have just let the night end it. Like, why did they do that?
Why did they do what?
Like, why did they use that night to take a jab at Jada? Like,
oh yeah.
And why was it about her looking like a person that shaved their head when she got a condition?
Right.
Like,
and even if the show writers had written that joke, it's kind of like y'all didn't do no research or nothing. Y'all kind of just broke that in and didn't know she actually had a condition. That's what's kind of messed up to me.
Nah, to be at an event on that scale, on that level, bro, with all of those high class people, and with Jada being open about her illness. Now she's been transparent about her having alopecia on her social media platforms. So I can't really say that the people at the Oscars didn't know, bro.
Right.
It's kind of far-fetched, bro. Especially if they wrote the joke.
That's what I'm saying.
That shit's suspicious.
It's like you kind of would think that this would trigger somebody. You know what I mean? That just made me think about it being staged.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It was just too perfect. It fit too much. It fit too perfect for it not to be staged, in my opinion. But moving on, we spent, a good amount of time on that. You know what I'm saying? But we wanted to talk about that, man, because it was slick funny, bro. I laughed at that joke, man, when I really understood the joke. I was like, yeah, Chris Rock wrote that. But anyway, moving on, man. I wanted to talk about a song that I've heard of J. Cole's, man. And it's a really good song because it has a really positive message to it. And the name of this song is called Love Yourz. And lately, I've really been on my grateful thing. I've been being very grateful because I'm understanding that nothing in life is promised more so now. I've seen a lot of people pass away recently due to different reasons. I've also seen people struggle with sickness. I've also seen different things, bro. And I've also seen, we have social media, of course, and you see people living their best life, and you see people that you may know living their best life. And sometimes you if you look at that stuff a little too much, you can become unhappy, and you can forget all of the many blessings that God placed upon you. So that song, Love Yourz, is about you loving literally what's yours. Yourself, your life, what you have, everything that came with it. And although it may not be where you want to be, but it's yours. And I think that's like one of the most important things of that song. Like, it don't necessarily matter where you are. What matters is that it's yours. And it's, at that point, it's all about your mindset and how you look at it. So what you think about that mindset? Because that's a powerful perspective to move about life in. You know, being grateful about what you have, being grateful about what God has given you. So what you feel about that?
I think it's super important. I think the trouble that a lot of us have is, you know, getting to that place of being grateful. You know what I mean? Considering like we got so much access through that phone into people's lives. And I mean, I hate to make it about social media, but I think the lack of being grateful has a lot to do with social media. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you barely see people post their struggles. You know, it's kind of like you see a regular person, then boom, out of nowhere, they on a jet, they on a yacht. And it's like, you know, it could play a trick on the mind. It's like your mind saw it happen like that. But a lot of them people that make it on them yachts and them cruises and all that stuff, doing big things, it was a process to it.
Yeah.
That they don't really put on social media. Don't nobody really want to put that. But really, man, I think it's important for us to track our social media, like you had started doing a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just seeing how much you on there, because it can make you feel sad. You know what I mean? Just looking at everybody else and what they presenting, because it might not even be what they actually got going on. It just be what they feel comfortable putting out there. But
and too, bro, I definitely look at the consistency people be having.
What you mean?
Like, okay, like, I'm gonna use myself for instance. Like, okay, like I'll go out of town, right? I'll finally go somewhere, and you take these dope ass pictures, but then you come back home, and then you don't go nowhere.
That's over with.
So you got this nice photo that's been the last photo for the last few months, and you looking at your Instagram like, man, I want my profile piped up, man. Like, I ain't been nowhere in 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes 6.
Right.
And you looking at it and you measuring your profiles to somebody else's profile, like, y'all living life consistently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that's even overlooking your gratefulness right there. Like, you overlooking that you was able to go somewhere.
Right.
Just period.
Right.
But you come back home and you came back home and instead of having a positive mindset, you thinking about how many times you didn't go somewhere.
Good.
Instead of being grateful for that one time you did go somewhere.
And I think that come down to like training our minds to be grateful. Because just looking at it life, man, it could be some stuff to be discouraged about.
For sure.
And I think that's where continuously reminding ourselves to be grateful. Because at this point, like, it's not a natural thing to be grateful. It's really unnatural at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it really took and takes me consciously choosing, not just sitting back and letting things to be grateful for present themselves, but like the song you said, talk about being grateful with where I'm at right now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And just really recognizing and putting emphasis on that instead of what I ain't got and what I ain't did, you know?
And I think that takes me back to a key point that you made me think about. Because it makes sense to the reason why some of the most happiest people in the world are poor people. Because in their mind, they're not poor. Because like to even call yourself poor, you got to be in an ungrateful state. To say like, hey, I'm poor, you have to then realize that you don't have something. So, but like most of the people that I see are mostly happy, they don't go around talking about what they don't have. They happy literally about life. They happy literally about having an encounter with you. Like, you just so happen to come into my day. How you doing?
Yeah.
Like, they be so happy about the smallest experiences.
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel like because this world sucks the joy out of you by greed, I think that's what causes us to be less grateful. Because it's like, you got to think about it. Like, the whole system of this world is all about how much you have or what you can get.
Right.
How much you have and what can you give me. So it's like, when both of those things are at zero, you see what I'm saying? That's depression. So it literally, you have to literally be somewhere mentally that will have you not fall into that, because the majority of the world is that. Everybody's in this rat race. Everybody's chasing the American dream. Everybody want to be a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's not important, you know, on a grander scale. I feel like as people, we don't make importance of character, period. Like, we don't think about mindset. We don't think about how we actually live. We really just think about survival. And we can't blame people for that, bro, because the system has been set up for us to survive, not thrive.
Right.
And I think when you have to get your mindset out of the system of thinking that we're used to. Because if you think about it, bro, when we start school, right? And I think that the school system has a lot to do with this. When we go to school, we start from pre-K and kindergarten, right? But it's always in hopes to graduate. It's always in hopes of something outside of yourself that you're chasing. Like, it's always like that.
That's
like,
heavy, bro.
Why is that?
You ain't shit until you got to this point.
Yes. From the get-go now. You a whole child.
Right.
You a whole child, but you been programmed from a child that you're trying to get someplace.
If you don't get these kind of grades on your report card next month, you failed.
And you know I'm a mental health guru, right? So now let's bring this into psychology. Now a child's development starts at that age. So these are very important years of their lives, and they're being trained to chase things outside themselves. We're not teaching them who they are and instilling principles in them. We're not feeding them empowering things. We're literally telling them, you're not smart until you pass this. You're not this until you get to this place. You know, you better do this or you're going to be held back here. So we're already in that system from the jump.
Wow.
To chase and to be ungrateful for growth. Like, cause bro, when a child come in from pre-K, right, at the beginning of the year, that child is learning something every day.
Right.
Like, but it's not set up to celebrate what they are learning. It's always pressing to be at a place that they're not right now. That's why you got little things that they do, like, I'm gonna put you a star on the board. I'm gonna give you a gold star. Cause psychologically, that's what you call conditioned stimulus. That's how you train dogs. That's how you train animals.
Wow.
It's called positive reinforcement.
Right. I just never looked at it like that as being in school.
You training. So it's like, okay, you do this good, I'm gonna reward you for it.
Right.
So you're gonna be more prone to behaving in this way more because you were rewarded. Just like with dogs and treats. If you tell a dog to sit down and he don't sit down, and you reinforce it negatively, like pop it or something, it'll get back in place. But if you want to do it positively, you'll give a dog a treat once he do something right.
And you know, when you said that about it being in the school system, you know, about rewarding the stars and all that, it kind of makes me think about that possibly shaping people into seeking confirmation from people. You dig what I'm saying?
That's a big one.
You know what I mean? It's like your whole, I mean, there's some people out here, man, like if nobody's telling them good job or you did that or that's what's up, they feel like, you know, boo-boo. And it's just crazy to think that we have been literally trained up and, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Me and my girl was just literally talking to, well, nah, it wasn't her. I was on a support group last night. That's the mental health support group I was telling you about.
Yeah.
I was actually on that support group last night while I was cutting grass. And they were talking about that. And I believe our cousin Kiyoko was the one that mentioned it.
Yeah. Shout out to Kyoko.
For sure, because I invited her to that group, and it has helped her a whole lot. Like, that's when I really figured out, like, this is huge. Support and community is huge, because people just looking for a space, a sacred space at that.
Right.
So when I seen how that worked, okay, but back to the point, Kyoko was saying that because she grew up with a disability, you know, and when you grow up with a disability, people are always telling you what you're not able to do. What you're not able to do, and they're always telling you what they want you to do and what you're able to do. It's never about what you feel like you can do.
So
and
I feel what's best for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's always very handicapping. Like, just because I'm handicapped don't mean I'm handicapped, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
So it's like that was her struggle. And she was saying that, you know, she struggled with actually finding out what she wanted to do because she had been controlled so long. Like, her life had been so controlled and so directed. So it was at this point, like, when she got the opportunity to be free, you don't really know what you want to do. Like, you have no clue on what you can do. And sometimes that be the case with people pleasing. Like you was just saying, like, she said she had a problem with people pleasing, and I feel that that's what that turns into. As children, like I said, with those developmental stages, you're really supposed to be at home with your parents, because you're really supposed to be pleasing them. And we wonder why our kids come home and be disrespectful to us. Is because they obeying the teacher. It's because those times where they're supposed to be pleasing you and seeking out to please you, they're at school pleasing the teacher.
Right.
So when they come home, I'm saying, bro, you gonna get the left end, bro. You gonna their disciplinary for the majority of the time is their teacher.
Right.
So I'm saying, like, if they don't listen to you, why are you surprised? You go to work from 6 to whatever time you get home. Your kids are at home by the time you get home. So they, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get them for 3 hours a day.
Right. Lopsided.
So we gotta really think about that in its totality. So, like, it's so much, man. It's so much that comes from being grateful. Like, we started out talking about being grateful, but we went to the root of the problem. Like, all of this starts from there.
What? Childhood?
It starts from there. Like, learning to be grateful. Like, learning to be grateful. Like, what I'm saying is that messes up the ability to be grateful. I'm not saying that if you go to public school or if you're in the school system that you're not going to be grateful. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it creates challenges.
Right. It
creates challenges in personal development. Like, you're not going to develop some things. You're going to miss some things because you are there. You're going to miss out on some things that you should be taught as far as who you are as a person.
Character building.
Yes, and school don't have nothing to do with character. Like, you going to school building character off of your studies. Like, I'm building my whole character and personality off of school. Like, what? Like, really, who am I? So we literally grow up turning into that person. We're not that person, Vic.
Right.
But because we've been put in this system, we're going through kindergarten, we're going through this whole system all the way up until we graduate, and sometimes we get further our education into college. Right. We're that person that system created, not who we are specifically. So we'll have to unlearn, sit down with ourselves for us to really find out who we are. Because we are that person now. We just we far away from it because we're being something that somebody had already set out for us to be.
Real talk. I think that's cool. I mean, even up to college and all that, that's the goal. And we know that.
Yeah.
You know, to get people to, learn the system and then come work for us. And we gonna treat you the same way we did in school. It's gonna be the same thing, you know what I mean? Or jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or jail. It's like school is built for you to go clock in or go to jail. It's dang near the same system.
So do you think that being grateful is something? I know I ain't lose this question. That's why I'm talking slow.
It's all good. Everything is good. Take your time.
No, I'm saying though, because I'm trying to see, okay, because we want to actually be tangible too. Like, we're gonna talk about some stuff that we can actually do to be more grateful. But what I'm getting at right now is, by you saying that, dang, what my question, bro? I just had that question. Everything happened for a reason, so let's just move along. Okay. But as far as being grateful, bro, we see that all of this stuff plays a role in how we think about life and how we go about life.
Right.
Because I feel like being grateful is something that has to be instilled.
Yeah.
Because literally, we just got through talking about the system. The system is going to strip that out of you anyway. Mm-hmm. It's going to strip it out of you if you don't keep it there. So it has to be a priority to be thankful. So let's talk about some of those things that we can do to make sure we're more grateful. And I'm gonna say something that I like to do in the morning. Maybe you guys could try it out, and it'll help you guys too. But this definitely helped me every single day. You know, when I wake up in the morning, I use the bathroom a lot. When I take my little morning number 2 or whatever. My main thing is that I think about the smallest thing that I can be thankful for. I think about the smallest thing that I know somebody else may not have, or somebody may want. Like even to just wake up in the morning and have a bathroom to use. I said that when I was testifying in church one time. I'm like, it's funny, but to have a sacred place to use the restroom, it's people that have to use the restroom outside. Mm-hmm. They have a choice. Mm-hmm. You know, I have wipes, I have tissue, I have things that I need to make sure I'm clean after I use the restroom. It's people that don't have that. So I really get down to the nitty gritty and think about those things that I overlook, but are very important. Right. Taking a shower. Like, come on, bro. These are very valuable things that we overlook. Yeah. Hot water.
If it was gone, boy, it would be a problem.
Bro, we don't boil. You don't been at my house and us boiling water. You don't been there and having no heat, bro. Having no heat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So literally to be able to take a hot shower is such a blessing, bro. I'm telling you.
Whenever you feel like it too, man.
Man, and see, these are the things that get you in the spirit of gratitude. Mm-hmm. You have to think about the small things that you overlook. And I say the small things. I say the small things because sometimes we look at prayer as a job. Sometimes we look at prayer as this hard thing to do. But when you think small, it makes it easier. So for those who have a hard time praying or finding something to pray about or finding something to thank him about, just don't even make it hard. Just think about something small. Even to the point of just being able to cut on your light and that bitch really come on. Mm-hmm. Like your power not off. You know, you have a refrigerator that work. It's people that got spoiled. They food is spoiling because their refrigerator is bad. Mm-hmm. Only the bottom part work. The freezer don't work. But I've lived in a place where the top of the stove work, but the oven don't. I've lived through that. So to have a working stove is a blessing.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's so much to be thankful for, y'all. And this is what this episode is all about. Love yours. Don't, it's cool to idolize. It's cool. It's not cool to idolize. Let me take that back. Don't idolize nobody.
That's right.
Because to idolize person is to look at it as a god. Don't give nothing that much of power to say you idolize it. But what you can do is to be influenced by someone in a healthy way. You can say, hey, this person is doing something positive in the community. You know what? This person influenced me. This person encouraged me. This person, what's the word? Motivated me, inspired me to do something positive.
That's right.
Now that don't mean you biting off of him. That don't mean that you're trying to be like. Did you know stress is one of the leading causes of chronic physical and mental health issues? This is why we started this movement, MH10, Mental Health 10 Minutes. And we want to inspire everybody to take at least 10 minutes a day for a walk, jog or run, or even if it's just a stroll in the sunlight to get some fresh air. The goal is just for you to focus on yourself for those 10 minutes. And what this does, it lowers the chances of you experiencing anxiety and depression, because we all know that stress leads to those things. So get outside today and take your 10 minutes. And if you want to post on social media, use hashtag MH10 or mental health 10 minutes. Now back to the show. Yeah, not trying to be like them, but in your own right, just saying, hey, I see something valuable. Let me apply that.
Right.
I like that. That's cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to learn from one another. You know, you have to learn from somebody because there's nothing new under the sun. We may have another ways of formulating, another ways of saying it, but all the information that's in the world, bro, is here. Mm-hmm. And even if somebody come up with something that we say is new because we didn't know it before, that information was already here. They just hadn't found it.
Right.
So like, there's nothing new under the sun. So always be grateful, man. Always be grateful. Take every day, one day at a time. And when I say one day at a time, I don't mean that saying in a negative way, because you know most people that say, man, taking it one day at a time, they them negative ass folks that always got low vibes. I'm not talking about that one day at a time, just moping. I'm not saying that in a moping way. I'm saying it like tomorrow is not promised. So one day at a time, meaning be great today. Do something great today. Show God's spirit today. Show your light today.
That's right.
And leading on to our next segment, and I want you to go first, like you always do. And I know you're gonna drop something off on me, and you're gonna drop something off on the people. But on this segment, we always like to talk about something we've learned. You know, whether it's this week, last week, or just something valuable that you can say to the people that they can take away from that you've learned. So if there's anything that you want to drop off.
Yeah, man, just basically what I kind of hit you with this morning. I'm learning that life is more fulfilling the more selfless you are. Because at first I looked at it like, I want to get this, I want to get that. You know what I mean? But I'm starting to see even clearer, man. Like just being in place for my family, my friends, you know what I mean? Just being of service to people is really what it's all about, man. And, you know, I had reached a point where I was like, I am being selfless. But I don't know what happened, man. Like some kind of revelation just fell on me, man. And it was like, more selfless. You know what I mean? Be more selfless. So
that's growth, bro.
That's what I'm learning, man. Appreciate it. I mean, I can't even take credit, man. All glory to God, because I wasn't even looking to be more selfless in my book. I thought I was doing a bang up job. And I may be in comparison to other people, but, you know, I can't compare myself to other people. You know, I really got to look and, you know, look to God and really understand what He has for me.
Yes, sir.
And right now I'm just receiving, be even more selfless. Be more selfless. And I think that will really give that fulfilling life. Because then I think once you start to do that, I think you will in turn to start being more grateful. Think just naturally. Because it's like you start receiving energy of people being grateful because of you. And I think that's another way to receive being grateful too. You know, the spirit of gratefulness. When people are grateful for you, so we do that by being selfless. That's deep. So that's pretty much what I done learned, man.
Oh, that's fire.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's fire. Thank you for that. Like I say, man, you give me that word. You give me that word every week, and I think that's one of the reasons why you had that revelation. Because, hey, we are involved with one another. We do a lot of things together. So, if we in a circle together, that can't help but fall off on me. You dig what I'm saying? And I know, like, if you grow in that area and I don't grow in that area, something ain't gonna go right.
That's what?
So it's like,
for real,
with your growth and you expressing that growth to me is just giving me my attention. Like, you need to keep your eyes open. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to make sure you being selfish as well. Like, cause that you can never be too selfless,
right?
Unless Well, I don't even think that's. Then you moving into another spirit if you start hurting yourself. That's not selfless anymore.
That's not selflessness anymore.
But being selfless, you can't do too much of that because you can't be God given. Like if you, by giving something, I'm not even just that ain't even money. Like every time I say give, I always think about money.
That's that system,
like,
man.
Exactly. So it's like just be able to just give anything.
Yes, sir.
No matter what it is, we don't want to put no barriers on it.
Oh man, another thing, man, that hit me when you said that, bro. Like a kind word can go so far, bro. Like that really hit me the other day too. Like just giving somebody a compliment.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how we don't compliment each other, bro.
Facts, bro.
Just in general life, like why isn't this a common thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that one, a nice word, bro, can change a person's whole day, bro.
But you know, love got a lot to do with that. Self-love got a lot to do with that.
True.
Because for a long time, I couldn't take compliments.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I deserved it.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Dang, that's on deep, dog.
Deep.
I'm just now realizing I felt like I didn't deserve a lot of stuff. I didn't really know. I looked at it like that.
And also, it's hard to really give that compliment when we not even compliment ourselves.
Exactly. You'll sit there and like something somebody got on, or you'll want to compliment that person, but you won't because you don't even think that person. Like I don't even be thinking that person will believe my compliment. Cause when somebody give me a compliment, I'm always thinking like, are they for real? I really be feeling like
some folks do be shaded like that.
Playing with me, bro. Like,
some folks is like that, bro, and that's fucked up.
I don't never believe people when they give me a compliment. No cap. I don't even know. Like it's just automatic. Like I don't put no pressure on nothing nobody tell me, bro. I don't hold on to shit. Like, for real. But one thing I learned, bro. One thing that I learned recently, just thinking about all what's been said and what's been done, bro, is that you gotta keep going. I seen that prime example on yesterday. Like we was getting ready to go fishing, me, my daddy, and my brother, and we got a call that my uncle was in the hospital and it was gonna be his last day living. But like I'm just looking at time, and you know what that bit was doing? It did not stop, bro. No, for real. It did not stop for your feelings. It did not stop because somebody died. Like, nothing stops. So why should we? Like, nothing stops. So why should we? So everybody that's hearing is like, I don't care what it is. If you look at the time after that, after that situation presented itself, if you look at your clock right now, that bitch still moving. So that should tell you I should too. We gotta still keep it moving, but we gotta mind the way we keep moving. Like try to move on with it the most positive way possible. And how you do that? Just try your best to think positive. And I know everything not simple, everything not easy, but you gotta first try. Right. To get anywhere, you gotta first try. So it's like I know it's hard, I know it's tough, but try. Just try to be positive. Try to look at the smallest thing you can be thankful for. Just try.
That's right.
So man, before we get out of here, is there anything you wanted to say to the people, Vic?
Just going off what you just said, I just want to also add in, man. What you just said reminded me of that Young Thug song. Hustlers don't stop, they keep going.
That's your father's favorite song, ain't it? It's one of your father's songs. It's one of your father's. One of Young Thug songs that your father liked.
No, it ain't that. It's that song was out around that time when my dad transitioned.
Oh, okay.
And that's when that song, like, I heard it, but once my dad passed away, it hit so much harder. And I understood it, because hustlers don't stop, they keep going. You can lose your life,
but it still don't stop.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It keep going. It keep going. So that just made me think about that. And just when we get faced with stuff in life, gotta push. Cause you know I've had the habit of when stuff happen, I feel like I gotta slow down, let me stop a little bit. But I'm learning now, like, no, that you kind of been seeing that the wrong way, Vic. You gotta keep pushing. So even when I had them bad thoughts, you know what I mean, that come in my mind, sometimes that'll motivate me to slow down, like, oh, I need to stop and you know, I need to meditate. And sometimes that is needed. Yeah. But I saw myself abusing that. You know what I mean? Like, I need to stop everything I'm doing and work through this that I'm dealing with. It's like, nah, sometimes you just gotta push through and get done whatever need to be done. But
that's facts, bro.
I just wanted to add that on to the end. Follow me on Instagram, Victor Infinity 3, Facebook, Vic Beats.
And Victor Thomas.
Oh, and Victor Thomas. Yeah, that's right.
For sure, man. I thank everybody for tapping in for Conversation 8. It was a pleasure, man. It was a pleasure. I didn't even think we was going to have this long of an episode. I kind of felt like, because I didn't know what we was going to talk about at first. I always feel like that when we start, but we always end up bringing it on home. I thank God for you, man. Thank God for you being here. The messages that he be sending through you.
Same to you, man.
And, man, looking forward to conversation number 9. And I asked you guys, don't forget to tap in. Keep tapping in. Don't forget to share. Leave comments on Apple Music. Rate our podcast. Because that's how we get heard by more people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all rate the podcast, if y'all leave positive comments and feedback, we could possibly be one of the top podcasts in education and personal development. So if y'all will do that for us, we're very much appreciated. I'm Mr. John Michael Best.
I'm Victor Thomas II.
And we out, man. Gone.
Peace.